Hello, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I am your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and I'm here to do some brief tarot readings with three card, more or less, spreads when you post your question in chat. So, hello to everyone joining me. And please do go ahead and post your questions in chat as you have them. And thank you to everyone joining. And it is Thursday, October 24th. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I apologize for not being here last week, but I was sick and I actually lost my voice, which I kind of need to do live tarot readings. But it's good to be back here tonight. So go ahead and post your questions in chat. And while I'm waiting on questions, we can talk a little bit about tarot. I'm curious, does anyone watching do a tarot journal? I have actually taught a class on tarot journaling. I find it very helpful to pull three cards in the morning. Now, Reverend Brian, I think, pulls his three cards in the evening, but I do keep track of it, what I pull in a journal, and watch for trends. And I find it to be a very useful tool. So if you're considering doing it, I highly recommend that you go ahead and so we've had a nice warm day here in Middle Tennessee. A little unseasonably warm in my opinion, but because frankly, I'm ready for the heat to be over with. I'm ready to wear fall clothes. I'm ready for a nip in the air. And no, I won't actually whine that it's too cold. I promise. And hello to Anissa and Renee. Good to see you both. And they've both posted questions for me. Anissa got in first. So Anissa says, will my future significant other be female? All right. Let's see what the cards have to say for you, Anissa. Hope you are having a good day. And maybe I should get a card shuffle noise to play while I'm shuffling. That would be kind of cute. Okay, Anissa. Well, here are the cards I've got for you. I've got the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is indicating a journey. It could be a physical journey. It could be a spiritual one. I've got the Prince of Wands that suggests there's a lot of energy around your question, but it needs more focus. And then I've got the Two of Lamps, which is talking about using your abilities to serve your community. And I'll pull one more card and I get the Three of Lamps. And the Three of Lamps is talking about working with other people in your community and being the change you want to see. So, I'm not actually getting an answer to your question, and maybe we need to refine it a bit more. If you want to repost with a time frame, that might work. And Renee wants to know if her luck has changed. All right, Renee. Let me get the cards shuffled up here for you. Hope you're having a good day. And just a bit more here. Shuffle noise, shuffle noise. So this is what I got for you, Renee. The first card I've got is magic. And magic means exactly that, magic. You've got the ability to manifest whatever it is you feel like you're having poor luck with. You've got the ability to manifest change. I've got the Prince of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles is about building wealth slowly with care and deliberation. So he's advising being careful with your money, but you should be able to put yourself in a good place in the physical plane. And then I've got the Six of Cups for you. And the Six of Cups is talking about relationships and possibly coming across a friend or perhaps someone you had a relationship with in the past. So you can make your own luck here, Renee. And I hope both of you find that helpful. And hello to everyone who's just joining us. We're doing tarot readings. If you will post your question in the chat, I'll be happy to do a 3-card, more or less, pull for you. Hope everyone is having a good evening. If you don't have a question, you can still drop a line and say hi. And tell me how you're enjoying fall weather. I also want to send energy out to the people on the East Coast recovering from Helene and the people in Florida recovering from Milton. We've had 2 bad hurricanes back to back, and you certainly are, not just in my thoughts and prayers, but in my energy work. All right. Anissa is asking her New Year's kiss. Will it be female? We can do that, Anissa, since we don't have any other questions right now. All right. So I'm going to draw 1 card for you this time, and I've got the universe. So I'm going to say, because, and there are actually stars on this card. It's kind of hard to see with the glare from my lights, but the stars are there. And what the universe means is you're coming to the end of the cycle, start of something new. And that's certainly what your New Year's kiss would be. And with this card, I think it's going to be you can manifest what you want here. So if you want a New Year's kiss, it's time to be looking at developing those relationships because we're towards the end of October. So, but you can manifest the relationship you want, Anissa. You've asked about relationships a lot. So, be doing what you can to be out meeting people is the best answer I've got for you. And hello to everyone joining us. Excuse me. And because someone asked the other day, I used the Infinite Tarot or Tarot of Hecate that was designed by Reverend Don Lewis, who reads with me on occasion. And you can actually order that if you are interested here at CorellianPublishing.com Collections Infinite Tarot. If you just go to CorellianPublishing.com, you can look through all the offerings there. And that is where you can get your own copy. And if anyone else has a question, please go ahead and post it in chat. And I will also mention the Tarot of Hecate is unique in that it is a 100-card deck. It has 5 suits. And it also has extra cards in the major arcana to bring it up to 100. And Anissa, you are welcome. He says, person turquoise waving. Well, I'll wave back. If that's a comment on the hair, yes, it's turquoise tonight. And hello to Chandra in the chat room. Thank you for joining us and welcome. If you have a tarot question, go ahead and post it, and I'll be happy to do 3 cards for you, more or less. And while we're waiting on another question, I will mention that I am doing the daily tarot every morning. I'm posting them at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern, and you can find it on the same channel you're watching this. That's my tarot spread for the day. So please have a look at it. And now we are going to move over for a word from one of our sponsors. And thank you to our sponsors at Equinox Learning Hub. They are a pagan homeschooling organization, and I encourage everyone to check them out. And hello to Groucho Trout, who says, last time I was here for a live stream, I was cutting my hair during Mercury retrograde. There was someone else that gave me a reading, and both of you gave me conflicting readings to a certain degree. Can you do a follow-up to that? Thanks in advance and mad blessings. All right. Well, Groucho, I'll be happy to do another reading for you. I can just do it based on what you just said, or if you want to tell me what the question was. But I'll go ahead. So if you want to post the question you asked. And Chandra says, not sure what to ask. May I have a reading? Yes, Chandra, you can have a general reading. Let me take care of a reading for Groucho Trout since he posted first, or they posted first, just because the original. Groucho was male. I shouldn't be quick to assign, should I? Okay, Groucho says it was a basic reading, just happened to mention I was cutting my hair. All right. And you cut your own hair, which makes you way braver than me, I might add. I am terrified I will leave myself really lopsided. All righty. So, for you, Groucho, I have the Four of Pentacles. And this means that you are in a good spot in the material world. Your needs are met, and you're in a position to share with others if you choose. I have the Five of Swords, and that indicates some conflict is going on. And then I have Mind from the Major Arcana here. I love the imagery on this card, by the way, with the infinity symbol in her hair and the peacock. With the Mind card comes the idea that there is more going on in your situation than you know about it. And you need to do some extra research, extra digging. There is something you need to figure out in your current situation. So I hope that is helpful. And hello to Alpine in the chat. Yes, I can do a reading for you. I've got Chandra in front of you, and then we will get to you, Alpine. So just let me get shuffled up here. And hello to Nicole, who says she's new here. Well, welcome. I'm glad you found me. This is Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary, and I am doing 3-question, more or less, card readings for questions posted in the chat. This one is going to go out to Chandra. All right, so the first card I've got for you is the Seven of Lamps. Lamps is the 5th suit in this deck, and it relates to spirituality and magic. Here we have a woman bathing in a pool under the full moon, and this card is talking about letting go and letting go of everything that doesn't serve you anymore and putting the past behind you, releasing it. I've got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords indicates that things may be difficult, but you have a path to victory. You're going to have to work for it, but it's there. And I've got the Four of Pentacles, which came up previously and is the indicates things are going well for you in the material world. You have enough and you're in a position to share. And the last card was, I think, number 12. It is called Mind in this deck, Groucho. And that card is unique to this deck. And then Alpine had asked for a reading regarding their health. And Anissa says, Merry meet to the new people. You are welcome, Chandra. I hope that is helpful. Okay, so regarding your health, we're going to start off with the Princess of Swords. Swords are about communications, and the princess is about careful communication. So, excuse me. Regarding your health, I think this card is saying that it's important that you are communicating clearly about what's going on with all your healthcare providers and maybe the other people in your life who you may need help from. I've got the Prince of Swords next, and the Prince of Swords is sometimes read as selfishness, but I think this is more self-care. Be sure you are doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. Rest, take your meds, eat right, exercise, whatever it is you've been told to do or you know you need to do for your health, do it. And finally, I've got the Six of Swords, and this is a journey. So it can be a physical journey, but I think in your case, it's talking about a journey with your health. So I'm going to pull one more card on top of that. And I've got the Five of Cups, and which means you've been very emotional around this issue. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but don't sit in a slump and not do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So I hope that is helpful, Alpine. And then now we've got a question from Nicole who says, really, she doesn't have a specific question, but is there anything I need to hear? All right. We can do a general reading for you, Nicole. Getting everything shuffled up here. Okay, so the first card I've got for you is the Fool. And the Fool means the beginnings. It's the start of a new cycle. And it really means that right now you can move in whatever direction you want to. I have the Seven of Cups. With the Seven of Cups, we have the idea that you're being presented with several choices and they all look good. And finally, I've got the Ace of Wands. Aces are, of course, the essence of any suit. Wands are about fire and our passions. So taking it all together with all three cards, the Fool, the Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Wands, I'm going to say that your guidance here is to follow your passions. Whatever you're passionate about, you have the ability to go after it right now. So I hope that is useful for you. And you're welcome, Chandra. I'm glad it's helpful, Alpine. And you're welcome, Nicole. And that gets us caught up. And hey, while I'm just shuffling, I'll throw this out. I was just clearing the deck and I had an escapee, the Nine of Cups. So, the Nine of Cups, I'll just say, is for all of us, and this card is known as the Wish card. And what that means is what you wish for is going to happen. But your wish is where you're pouring your energy in. So, if you are pouring your energy into woe is me, I have awful luck, nothing good happens, that's going to be exactly what happens. If you are pouring your energy into I am manifesting my best life and these are the things I want in it, that's what's going to happen. And Groucho says, thank you so much. What is the deck you're using again? I am using the Tarot of Hecate. It's designed by Reverend Don Lewis, who appears on the show with me at least once a month. And it is a 100 card tarot deck. It has extra cards in the Major Arcana and the fifth suit, the suit of lamps. And I'll throw this back up. You can order the Tarot of Hecate at CorellianPublishing.com. And I'll tell you a funny story about this deck while I'm waiting for another question. So when I got this deck, I was doing my morning tarot meditations with it because I draw 3 cards in the morning to show me what's going on with my day. But I wasn't really ready to read with it for other people, I didn't think, because it does have cards I'm unfamiliar with. So I got a call from someone I read for, and their life circumstances had just majorly shifted. They needed a reading, and they liked for me to read to them with the Rider-Waite deck. And I went to the drawer where I keep my tarot decks to get the bag I keep them in, and it wasn't there. I looked everywhere, I could not find it. And I said, okay, I've got this other deck I'm working with. I'm still referring to the book even, but I'll read for you with this deck. And I was able to answer that person's questions. And I'm just like, what is going on here? But I kept working with this deck and I did other readings with it. And then I found my bag with my other cards. So I joke about the Tarot of Hecate hiding my other tarot cards because it was determined to be my main deck. And Groucho says, so are there the same number of trumps? Would Major Arcana 12 align with the Hanged Man? No, there aren't extra trumps in the deck. And that to bring it up to 100 cards, the Hanged Man is in this deck. It has a different number. So the card I pulled for you is Mind. And that is talking about our mental processes, using our mind to learn about the world around us. And specifically, when it comes up in a reading, it is advising us that we need to learn more about our situation. We don't have all the information we need to move forward. So, but it's a very interesting deck and I love working with it. It just took me a little bit to master the extra cards. And I'll also add, if you're interested in booking a private reading with me, you can do so at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. And Groucho says, fascinating. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. My only concern with this deck is I can barely wrap my hands around it. It's quite a bit for me to work with. So, does anyone else have a question for me? If you do, please go ahead and post it in the chat. And while we're waiting on questions, we will have a word from our other sponsor. So, just a moment while I pull that up here.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And thank you to Reverend Don for sponsoring us. And I do recommend the metaphysical auctions. I picked up 2 Yule gifts at the last one. Groucho asks, what are your thoughts for doing readings for humanity at large? That's an interesting question, Groucho. In general, I don't do a reading for a person without their permission. So if you post in chat you want a reading for your significant other, I'm going to say, are they sitting there with you asking for the reading? For humanity at large, well, humanity at large can't all get their permission. I've never considered that before. As you can tell, as I work my way through the question here, it would have to be, I think, a very, very specific question for it to be able to read on it, is my first thought, Groucho. Because humanity is the sum of billions of people all pulling in different directions. So, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to mull this one over. But my first thought is, unless it was a very, very specific reading question, I'm not sure it would be really relevant. Just because humanity represents so many different people. And Groucho says, yes, in my experience, the outcomes tend to be a bit vague. All right. And does anyone else have a question for me? Tarot reading or a question about the tarot? You're welcome, Renee. Renee says, thank you for my reading, and you're very welcome. All right. So, I'll talk about my very first tarot deck, the Celtic Wisdom Tarot, that literally pulled me off the interstate. I was taking my daughter to the mall. We were going to eat dinner and see a movie, and I got off the interstate one exit too soon. And as I turned, my daughter said, "Isn't this the wrong exit, Mom?" And then I saw Barnes and Nobles and knew I was supposed to go in there. And I said, "Yes, but I want to look for something here." And I went in and looked and found that tarot deck, my very first one. And I just knew I had to have it. And then once I bought my very first tarot deck, then I had to take my daughter to dinner and watch a movie. And it was rather late when we got home, and I could actually sit down, crack open the deck, crack open the book, and start to learn to read tarot. So that's one of my funny tarot stories. And since we are not getting any more questions right now, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who joined me this evening. I will be back next Thursday night, and I may be able to have a guest reader with me. It didn't work out tonight. But thank you so much for coming and joining me.